Welcome back to the Untouchaballs podcast. Caden and Leo here. Caden, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you, Mix?
I'm doing pretty all right, Caden. We got a few games to recap and plenty of games to preview, so let's hop right into it, starting with the Thursday night football game. San Francisco 49ers defeated the Seattle Seahawks on the road.
Yeah. I mean, the Niners' offense looked good, even with the injury to Jordan Mason. You had Garendo and breaking that big run at the end to end up icing the game, obviously. Mason looked good. Purdy was able to move the ball down the field, especially to Deebo Samuel throughout the entire game. The offense looked really good. Defense didn't look as good as you wanted, especially giving up like those 20, 23-ish points, but it was a good win by the Niners, and they were able to do what they needed to on the road.
Most definitely, Caden. The Niners pulled away, pretty early, and I thought we may see an avalanche, an onslaught, from that offense. It just really never came. I kept waiting for the barrage. It's like they kept it just out of range for the Seahawks that they felt comfortable.
Yep.
But at the end, the Seahawks did get close of kind of pulling off a miraculous comeback.
Yeah, it was kind of like what the Niners have done a couple times already this season. They'll come out to that big lead. Then, they won't execute in the red zone, settle for field goals. And then it allows the other team, like tonight, the Seahawks, start climbing their way back and make it a close game.
However, ultimately, the run game of the Niners is what was the difference, Caden. They had that going, and their rookie running back ended up cracking over 100 yards on that one big carry towards the end of the game.
That one big carry, cracked him over 100 rush yards and iced the game, basically.
For sure. It was an impressive win for the Niners. Solid division victory.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Moving into this weekend, though, starting out with the first game, we got the Texans at the Patriots. Texans minus 6.5.
Yes, Caden. This looks like one the Texans should be able to cover. We know how explosive that Texans offense has been. And unfortunately for you, Caden, the Patriots have not been very good this year. And I think this is an easy victory for the Texans.
I would agree. But, hey, first off, though, finally, it's Drake May time.
Hey!
Finally, Bummy Jacoby gets benched, and we get to see what the rookie is made of. Like, yes, I expect the Texans to come out, win this game, cover the 6.5. I don't think it should be particularly too hard for them.
Yes.
I'm just really excited to see what Drake May can do with a full game on the field. Like, he had that one drive a couple weeks ago. He looked pretty good. You can see a fish drive or whatever, and it's just garbage time. But now we're going to see a full game of Drake May, your number 3 overall pick. We're finally going to see how he looks in this offense. Hopefully the O-line doesn't kill him.
Yeah, most definitely, Caden. Having an actual full week to prepare as the number 1 quarterback changes everything. He's not just coming in during garbage time or as a reliever in certain situations. He's going to have time to prepare and come out full force. So I'm excited to see what the Rook can do.
Yeah, that's really all I care about this week. I don't expect the Patriots to win or even cover the game. I just am really excited to see what Drake May can do with this
Most
offense.
Definitely.
Going into our next game, though, we have your Denver Broncos,
who
are at home against the Chargers, where the Chargers are 3-point favorites.
Yeah, Caden, I'm really not sure who the odds makers
I don't know either.
The Chargers are.
I don't either.
Especially coming into Denver against the Broncos, who won 3 straight. Not only that, and just knocked off the division opponent Raiders. I like the Denver Broncos in this matchup, Caden. Give me them against the spread all day, every day.
Oh, I agree with you here 100%. Yeah, the Chargers have not looked great this year. Like inconsistent for sure. You're missing all your top receivers from last year. McConkey's looked good, but not like a number 1.
He's not been consistent. Yeah.
Quentin Johnson still has. He's looking better than last year.
A lot of more positive flashes.
Yeah, he's catching the ball better at least. He's still not anything special. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I don't know where the odd makers are getting the Chargers -3, especially with it being at Mile High in Denver.
For sure. This is a game usually at home Denver wins against the Chargers every year. This is kind of the one that Denver consistently wins. Mm-hmm. So I like the Broncos in this, Caden. I'm excited to see what Bo Nix does again with a lesser strength defense once more.
Yep.
I'm wondering if he can start putting some gains together and really build that confidence. And hey, Caden, this upcoming stretch with the Broncos is very winnable.
Okay. You never know.
You never know. Bo leave.
Hey, going into our more exciting matchup of the afternoon, I'd say. You have the Detroit Lions going to Dallas to face the Cowboys, where the Lions are 3-point favorites.
Yeah, Caden, this is another exciting matchup. Last week, you said Dallas was going to crack out a hard one against the Steelers, which they did. I am once again betting against the Dallas Cowboys because I do not trust them.
Yep.
The stinking, no good, lousy Cowboys. I'm going to ride with the Detroit Lions because I just feel they're the better team, Caden. They're the better team. They're going to exploit Dallas's weaknesses on defense better than Dallas's offense will exploit the weaknesses of the Lions' defense.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you again on this 100%. And, it's a bonus. We get Jared Goff in a dome.
Oh, yes.
Which helps a lot. His offensive numbers are all, you can look at the stats. In a dome,
100%.
Jared Goff is an amazing quarterback. And we finally saw, last week against the Seahawks, our offense is finally starting to improve, get better. You start looking more like the Lions we're come to expect.
Yeah, you're seeing the explosive plays. They were off to a slow start in September. The month of October is here, Caden. I expect them to continue rolling.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they should be able to go into Dallas. And, Dallas is too inconsistent, especially to start this season. I like the Lions offense a lot more, especially than Dallas is as well.
Agreed. Then
we get to the primetime matchups. Sunday nights, maybe not the best game by any means. We got the Cincinnati Bengals going down to East Rutherford, New Jersey to face the Giants, where the Bengals are 3.5-point favorites.
Yeah, Caden, this is a game I expect the Bengals to win. Now, however, we know the inconsistency of the Bengals. Just based on the performance from last week, though, I think they're starting to get going on offense. And I think against a Giants team, which frankly is pretty poor.
Oh, yeah.
I think knowing the experience Joe Burrow has, they should be able to get it done and cover the 3.5.
Once again, yes, I agree with you on here. Yeah. Finally, last week, the Bengals offense looked like what we'd come to expect from them. Burrow looked great. You had the big game out of Jamar, big game out of T. Higgins. All their defense is what let them down that game. You put up 38 points. You usually expect to win that game.
Yes.
But, yeah, against the Giants, they don't have, any offensive firepower whatsoever.
Hey, that's not true.
Hey, they got Malik Neighbors.
There you go.
But he's coming off a concussion, so we'll see.
Hopefully, he's had that extra week off. Plus, they were Thursday night football game when he got injured. So, Caden, he's going to come off a 17 days rest before his next football game.
Which that is really good to see. Even with Malik Neighbors, though, their offense hasn't done anything too impressive or crazy for me to think they'll be able to put up that many points. And I like that Bengals offense a lot more, where I think, they should be able to get the win, and I'd say as well the cover.
I agree, Caden.
And then going into Monday Night Football, we have once again in East Rutherford, New Jersey, where the Buffalo Bills,
for whatever reason,
will be taking on the New York Jets in an AFC East matchup where the Bills are 2.5-point favorites.
Caden, I'm not sure why that line is so close. The Jets just fired their head coach.
Yes. New offensive play caller.
The Jets are in turmoil right now. I don't understand how that line is so close, considering the caliber of football team we know the Buffalo Bills are.
I agree with you once again. But, the Jets are in all this weird situation. Maybe they think it could be a Raiders situation from last year. Where you get your new interim coach, the whole team's fired up. Rah, rah, big win.
I mean, I guess. But I feel like the defense players aren't very happy.
And the Bills are a much more complete, better, well-rounded team, I'd say, than the Jets. Aaron Rodgers has not looked like Aaron Rodgers by any means. Threw 3 picks in London last week. And, yes, the Bills lost, but that was more because of a really bad management by Sean McDermott.
And not only that, against a Texans team, which is levels above the Jets.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, levels above the Jets. Now you got the Bills, coming off that bad loss. They're going to be a hungry primetime game, trying to get that win back. Yeah, they should be able to go in there, get the win, and cover, I'd say, pretty simply as well.
Most definitely, Caden. I agree with you.
Moving into our college slate, though, this is a great weekend of college football.
Exciting, a lot of very big and important matchups, Caden.
Starting off with all the games we're talking about, we have at 1:30 Mountain Time, we got the Red River rivalry. Woo! Texas and Oklahoma, where Texas is 14-point favorites.
Caden, this is a classic game every year, but do not let the line fool you. This is a rivalry game, Caden. I'm throwing all lines out the window for this contest. I do, however, still feel very confident with Texas winning.
What about covering? We're picking against the spread here, man.
You know what? I like Oklahoma to cover. I think just because it's a rivalry, I think they're going to be able to cover.
So, I'm a little opposite here. We get Big Quinn back. Quinn Ewers finally back in the start. I see in these articles, I don't know why these so-called reporters would think there's a QB controversy in Texas. It's still Quinn's team.
100%.
He got an abdominal injury and, had to miss a couple games. Yes, Arch looked good.
I was going to say, but not only that, not to knock on Arch, but the level of competition.
Yeah.
It's
they were playing Mississippi State and ULM.
Yes, exactly.
Now you're playing Oklahoma, who's, your biggest rival. Big game, And now you got Quinn Ewers back, who's, your quarterback and one of the top quarterbacks in college football this in all of college football. I think they should be able, even though it is this big rivalry game where we always usually see close games, except for that Texas 49-0 win a couple years back.
That was a nice one, Caden.
I like Texas. I don't trust the Oklahoma offense that much. I think Texas should be able to come away with a victory and cover the 14.
That's fair, Caden. I totally see why you could feel that way, and that very well could happen. I'm just going to lean on the side of trusting the rivalry is going to keep Oklahoma motivated.
Hey, now though, going to your conference, we have a big matchup also in the afternoon.
100%.
We got the Arizona Wildcats going to face BYU, where BYU is -3.
Caden, this is going to be a very interesting matchup. Honestly, I've picked up against Arizona a lot.
Every week. It seems
every week. I once again have picked against Arizona in my picks. However, do not underestimate their potential to upset BYU in this matchup. This is a dangerous team with their offensive weapons. We know what they're capable of, right? We know the receiver that they have. There's not much that needs to be said about this. I think this is a win. If BYU wins, this is going to be huge for them motivation-wise.
Oh, yeah.
I think they believe they're one of these top teams, Caden. But if they go out and they dominate, that's going to be huge for the motivation for them moving forward.
Oh, yeah, especially, if they go in, win this game, stay undefeated in the Big 12.
Yes.
Yeah, I like Noah Fafita. I like Tatoria McMillan a lot. I think they're one of those like upper-tier duos in all of college football. They are,
for sure.
But especially with this being in Utah at that higher altitude where you've seen players not be able to perform as well.
It's a factor.
Especially coming from Arizona.
Yes.
And the way BYU plays at home, they look almost unstoppable.
They're very dominant.
You saw that K-State game a couple weeks ago where they absolutely blew the doors off K-State. Yeah, I like BYU in this game. I like them to cover. I think this should be a good win for the Cougars.
That's true.
Then going into our nightcap games, we got a big one. Number 3 against number 2. You got Ohio State going to visit Oregon, where Ohio State is a 3-point favorite.
Caden, this game is going to be electric. Yeah. That's the only thing I can use to describe this contest. I'm excited to see, Oregon with the big advantage being at home. Let's not undermine that fact because that's important.
That's very important, only that, especially in college.
To a coast, traveling across country on the West Coast. It's going to be different for Ohio State. And we know who upset Ohio State a couple years back, Caden? Oregon, right? There's some history there. I still think Ohio State is the better team and they're going to win. But Oregon's dangerous, man.
So what's the official pick?
I'm going Ohio State.
Ohio State -3?
Yep.
I am also on your team. Oregon, yes, they're ranked, in the top 3. They're been winning all of their games. They still haven't really impressed me.
I agree.
Offensively throughout the season. They're supposed to be one of the best offensive college football with Dylan Gabriel, Dan Lanning at head coach. They still haven't impressed me to the extent that I was expecting them to do to start this season.
And yes, Caden, and I'll add the fact that not only that, I feel like they're ranked this high just because I don't want to say it's because every other team is lost, but there's not that many undefeated teams.
It's kind of like that. It's basically why them and Penn State have made it to the top 5 because of these big upsets we've been seeing these last couple of weeks.
For sure.
Yes, Oregon's a good football team. It's huge that they're at home, but we also saw them at home last year. Choke that game against Washington.
100%.
Yeah, I think Ohio State is the better football team. I like them in this game and to cover.
Me too, kid.
Our next night game, before we get to your school, because that's the nightcap.
Of course.
We have another big ranked matchup, 9 against 13.
Yes.
Ole Miss going to visit LSU, where Ole Miss is 3.5-point favorites.
This is an exciting matchup, kid. We know LSU got off to that slow start. We know the struggles they felt. I think since then, this team's looked more in tune with each other.
Much improved,
They've
for sure.
Locked in, and I honestly like them. I'm going to take them in this matchup over Ole Miss.
So, I'm different on you.
Okay.
I know Ole Miss had that bad loss to Kentucky 2 weeks ago, but then last week against South Carolina, they looked more like the Ole Miss team we come to expect. Their defense played really well, only allowing 7 points to that South Carolina offense, and ended up winning by 20. I know it's in LSU, Baton Rouge. That's a tough place to play.
In the Bayou.
But I like Jackson Dart. I think he's also in that upper echelon tier of quarterbacks in college football up there with Quinn, Shadur, and those.
Yep.
Ole Miss offense is also really good. You got, not Quinshon Judkins. That's Ohio State. You got their running back who's been electric this year, one of the top leading rushers in the country. And he's been able to do what them needed to do. This should be another amazing game also in this night. I'll be flipping my TV back between the Oregon and LSU game all night. but I think Ole Miss will be able to cover the 3.5.
Another disagreement there, Caden. We're gonna have to wait and see how this plays out. Last week he beat me, but I feel like this week we're gonna bounce back.
Hey, now final game.
Yes.
The night game, 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time.
Caden.
You got ranked Kansas State going in to face the Colorado Buffaloes
on the road,
where K-State is 3.5-point favorites.
Yes, Caden, that line's gone down significantly. I remember before the UCF game, Kansas State was already.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, that was also before K-State had lost to BYU.
Yeah.
And it was before, we see this great winning streak these last couple of weeks out of CU. These very impressive wins we've been seeing out of them.
CU with a bye week, Caden. They're gonna coming off their best win under the Prime regime.
Mm-hmm.
I think this team's more confident than ever. The D-line is going to have to be a factor in this game, Caden. If they're going to win, they're going to have to harass Kansas State. And I think being at home with that crowd in that stadium, Caden, there's magic there. For whatever reason, the Buffaloes play at home. Do not underestimate them. I'm taking the Buffaloes to win in this contest.
Yeah, them being at home at Folsom Field coming off a bye is huge for them. Yeah, especially after that great win just 2 weeks ago. On the other hand, I'm still a believer in K-State.
They're a great team.
They're a really good football team, and this is a big conference matchup in the Big 12.
Yes.
We're trying to compete for that Big 12 championship spot.
First.
This should be a really good game. Great way to end the night after we see these two great ranked matchups before. But I like K-State in this one to cover that 3.5 and win the game.
We different. Caden, here's my prediction for this game. I think the difference maker on offense, Caden, is going to be the true freshman Michael Welch.
You've been saying that a couple of weeks.
But he's
been playing really well.
When
he's been playing really well.
He cracks off these big runs. He runs hard, and he has a nose for the end zone as of late.
Yes,
I expect him to continue to play well and to be that tone setter for the Colorado offense. And, of course, we know what we have with Travis Hunter and his abilities in offensive defense. I think the running game from Colorado needs to continue to take it up another notch because they've been improving. The running game has improved. I'm looking for 150-plus rushing yards, kid.
I will say if that Buffs defense secondary is able to pick off Aiden Martinez 1 or 2 times, this game will really shift in the favor of the Buffaloes. You've seen Martinez throughout the year have trouble with not turning the ball over, not being able to throw those untimely picks that we've seen these last couple of weeks between whether it be the Oklahoma State game, the BYU game more notably, but
Yeah, and we know how hungry this defense is for turnovers, Caden. These players have a knack for the ball, and they come with bad intentions.
Even with that, K-State minus 3.5.
It's been an exciting podcast, Caden. A lot to talk about. We'll be looking forward to recapping this as well as baseball coming up soon. Be on the lookout for that.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Turn on post notifications.
Follow all our socials. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you all next time.